should say the vast majority would have thought there is quite a senior manager. This is the perception that people would have of somebody who drives something a little out of the ordinary. What they probably didn't realise was that my car was the same price, if not cheaper than theirs, which means in reality I was the same as them, but because I had something a little different, I was perceived differently. I knew I'd have to have a Ford car. In the ideal world I wouldn't, but my company stipulated that the vehicle I would have would be a Ford. I looked at the price list, I looked at what I should have been able to have, and I noticed very early on that a Ford Fiesta XR2i was available to me, certainly in terms of price. So from that day on, the fun and games began. I began to put pressure on my immediate manager, on the fleet manager, on my manager's manager, to try and get them to understand why I should have a Ford XR2i, and I gave them all sorts of reasons. Every salesperson has to wear a suit, and when they're driving they don't like to wear their jackets. And in the same way that most salespeople drive Sierras and in Cavaliers, I'd say that most of those people will hang their jackets in the backs of their cars. As far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't be seen dead with my coat on a hanger in the back of my car. Although it's probably the most practical thing to do with your jacket, in terms of image, it's a dead donkey. I hang my coat, or I put my coat in the back of my car on the back seat. So when people are coming past me, they don't think I'm a salesperson. I don't drive a salesperson's car, and I don't have my jacket swinging in the back of it.
The hanger I'm using today is a wood look-alike hanger from Marks & Spencer's, but I've actually got Yves Saint Laurent and a Harrods hanger. But I've probably got more Marks & Spencer's hangers than I have the others.
The type of hanger I have in the back of my car is one of the plastic type, which curve into the shoulders of the jacket and provide support for it to give it a good shape.
I always hang it on a wooden coat hanger. I never hang it from the handle because it can make it lose its shape, and it keeps the body of the jacket looking good.
Coat hangers contain so much naff information and don't have information like Savile Row hangers or Giorgio Armani badges on them, so they can be somewhat embarrassing if someone reads it while you're travelling on the motorway.
Normally I hang the coat on the coat hook, which most cars have got. Unfortunately, on this particular car, the coat hook broke, so the coat has to lay on the back seat.
You sit in the chair, you feel this is wrong. You know, it's hard enough.
Every experienced motorway driver knows that certain cars are better than his own, and very often you'll find yourself in a situation where you're going near the top speed that your car has, and there's a guy in a Mercedes or a Porsche coming up behind you, and you just pull in because you know that his car's better than yours. And you're just acknowledging that he's got more power than you. And in the same way, when I'm in the middle lane, perhaps doing 80 miles an hour, and there's a Sierra which I know has less power than my car, and he's trying to push past at maximum speed, I'll very often just put my foot down. The power will come on immediately without having to build up, and the Sierra will have to struggle to just get parallel with me. And the best result is that he'll probably end up going back into the middle lane, and his attempt at overtaking me has failed, and that's a success. Whenever I leave a motorway, I always feel a tinge of sadness because they're so, how can I put it? They're so unreal. When you leave a motorway, you're joining normality again, back to A roads doing 50 and 60, which is never a very nice feeling. Back to normality again.